What is up, FA Nation? This is Kevin Tompkins here, and we're back with the Week 2 Target Report bullet points. You guys were awesome with all the feedback and views from the Week 1 Target Report bullet points, so we definitely appreciate all the love and support. It is Week 2. Week 2 is over now. We have a second data point now. As we head into Week 3 here, we'll highlight some of the best and most actionable information from Week 2 that you can bring with you to Week 3 and your fantasy football teams. Of course, you can find my full target report every Thursday on fantasyalarm.com. We will have a link down below in the description of this video. If there's anybody that you like on waivers this week, or you have a sneaky player that you're adding to your rosters, let us know who you like in the comments of this video. And hey, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe to the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel here. Drop a like on this video here as well. So let's take a look at some of the players that we're seeing positive trends about and how to approach them in fantasy football heading into Week 3. The beneficiary of a relatively innocuous injury to Noah Brown, Short King's summer continues on with Tank Dell as he saw a sizable routes bump from 46% in Week 1 to 82% in Week 2. Dell put up a 7-catch, 72-yard line with a touchdown on 10 targets. The one thing that's in his favor going forward is the fact that Houston and offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick are not afraid to let rookie quarterback CJ Stroud air it out, as the Texans have had 50-plus dropbacks in both games so far. Helping to foster that passing game growth is the Texans playing the third most plays per game at 75 and the third highest concentration of total targets to the wide receiver position at 70%. Dell should be running a large route share as a primary outside player, where he played 70% of his snaps in Week 2. A big knock on Dell is his size. He's only 5'8", 165 pounds, but he was dominant in college at Houston with a 36 and 38% dominant ratings in his sophomore and junior seasons before declaring for the NFL. With Nico Collins as the current wide receiver 6 in fantasy points per game and Robert Woods the wide receiver 32, the Houston Texans are in some uncharted territory with having multiple wide receivers being viable in fantasy football. But if the Texans are going to pass so heavily this season, it's going to be fruitful for multiple pieces in this Texans offense per week. Even after last week's Puka Nacua sweepstakes, as far as waiver wire ads go, I think fantasy managers will be aggressive with their fab, especially if they didn't get Nacua. I think 20 to 25% of your fab budget with the high-end bids eclipsing 30% or higher is a good number for Tank Dell. He's doing all of this with Noah Brown on IR, and I'm sorry, when Brown comes back, all I can say is good luck getting your job back. As we all expected, of course, the RB2 in fantasy football behind Christian McCaffrey is Kyren Williams.
What the hell is happening?
Williams has 4 touchdowns on the season after 2 games, but following a Jay Glazer report 10 minutes before kickoff, Cam Akers was deemed a healthy scratch, leaving the backfield essentially to Williams. Williams ran every snap but 4 of them in Week 2 and averages 22.7 fantasy points in 2 games. In Week 2, he also ran a 95% snap rate, 87% of the routes, and earned 10 targets, which would look a tad better if it weren't for Puka Nacua earning 20 targets by himself. This is Christian McCaffrey level usage out of Williams, and with Akers likely out of the picture, with a trade rumors swirling and nobody else behind Williams, we have to be pretty bullish here considering how good this Rams offense has looked after 2 weeks. Williams is a must-start top 12 running back. Yes, I'm going to say top 12. Going forward in all formats, even if the rushing side of the equation doesn't exactly come along for the ride. It doesn't have to. Williams has the target earning upside every single week. Consider him as a CMC light in terms of how he's being used in this ascending and interesting offense with a healthy Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, and a potential Cooper Kupp return. The Rams can move the ball, and Williams will be one of the main cogs moving forward. The Packers wide receiver group has been a bit hit or miss with Christian Watson out due to a hamstring injury, so Jayden Reed, the rookie from Michigan State, has rotated in and out with a bunch of players, but when Reed has run his 66% of routes on the young season, they've been primarily in the slot at a 2-to-1 ratio of slot to outside wide. Reed leads the team in targets and receiving yards, He's tied for the lead in receptions and touchdowns. Reed has been by far the most efficient wide receiver of this Packers wide receiver group with 34% targets per route run and 2.24 yards per route run. Last week, Reed put up a massive 44% targets per route run, so even on a lesser route share than we hoped, the intent of Jordan Love and head coach / play caller Matt LaFleur is to target Reed whenever he's on the field. That 44% essentially boils down to being targeted on almost every other route he runs. This is a wide receiver in Jayden Reed that we want to stash away because he has plenty of room to grow with his routes and his scheme versatile, a trait that LaFleur does prioritize from his wide receivers to play every single position on the field. Watson will be back and Romeo Doubs will stay involved. But the Packers did use a second-round draft capital on Jayden Reed, so he's going to get every chance to grow with Jordan Love, who has been fantastic so far with 3 touchdown passes in each game as fantasy's quarterback 2 so far. Reed should be added in all leagues as a stash, so I'd grab him with 8 to 12% with a higher fab bet in deeper leagues. The Packers offense is one of the surprise stories in fantasy this season, and we're going to want pieces of this offense in fantasy, like Reed. You may not be able to start him right away, but Jayden Reed's role will grow in this offense to where if he can keep up this efficient utilization, the runway is clear for takeoff. Again, you can find our target report every Thursday on fantasyalarm.com. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Thanks for watching.